Hi everybody, welcome back. It's Meridy and I am here today with the Playtime kit, which is our February page kit, one of our February 22 page kits here at Not Just for Boys Kit Club. And before I show you how to make the layout, I'm going to show you what's included in your kit. I'm going to do the embellishments first. So first of all, you've got a set of Sunflower Market Enamel Dots from Cartabella. You've got a cardstock cut that I designed that says toys. You've got a set of Max thickers. It's 148 pieces. I love the color of those. This one's missing an eye. I don't know what happened there. That's why I kept this one, because it had a little blemish there. And you've got two of these uniquely creative cut-aparts. This first one just has all sorts of tags and tickets and stars that are very cute and good for a lot of different types of pictures. And then you've got this set of cut-aparts, the word fetty cut-aparts, and that's uniquely creative also. And then you've got some papers here. You've got the Childhood line by Minte. You've got this cute cut-apart paper, and the back is polka dots. You have got, let me move these goodies, this Echo Park Welcome Baby Boy paper called Boy Plaid. You have got this uniquely creative piece, Choose Your Own Adventure, called Ready, Go, and it's got some great feathers on one side and stars on the other. And a Simple Stories wood grain, it's hickory or cream notebook on the back. And then you've got one piece of white cardstock and two pieces of this straw colored cardstock. So that's what you're going to get in your kit. You'll also have a sheet of instructions in there, and on the back side of those instructions is cutting guides for all of these papers, showing you exactly where to cut them. So I am going to go cut all of these papers just like the cutting guides say, and I will be right back. Alrighty, I am back and I've cut all my papers down to size, and instead of photos, for the sake of this video, I am using these in place of my photos. So you're gonna need 3 3x4 photos in portrait orientation and 3 4x6 photos in landscape orientation. And these 3 4x6s, I just trimmed down a little bit off of two sides so that they're just shy of 4 inches by 6 inches, because it's just easier to mat on a 12x12 piece of paper if these are just a tiny bit smaller than 4x6. So the first thing that we're going to do is mat all of our photos on the white paper that's included in your kit. And a very simple way to mat the 4x6 photos, since they're trimmed down, is to just cut this paper into 3 4x6 pieces. And then after you cut that into the 4x6 pieces, those will be the mats for these 3 photos. And then these 3 photos right here, we can just adhere them to this with a little border around them. And then we'll just cut this whole thing out at once. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm just gonna cut this out with a border all the way around it. And then 2 of these pictures are going to belong on the left page of this layout, and only 1 of them on the right page. So I'm gonna trim so that the photo on the right page has all 4 sides of the white mat. I'm gonna trim it right where that second picture lines up. I hope this is gonna make sense. I'll show you what I mean. See, I trimmed it so that this photo still has a mat on all 4 sides, but this one doesn't, because where the seams butt up on the paper, it will look like this. But since it's 2 separate pages, we had to cut them apart. So we will save this one for the other side of the layout. And let me just get my 4x6s matted, and I will be right back with those matted. Okay, so I've got all 3 of these matted, and we are just going to be working with 1 on this left-hand side of the layout. So next I'm gonna grab the pieces that we need for the left-hand side of the layout, and we will work on that first. And the first thing that we will do here is, I think we're going to alter the title, the cut that says toys. Now, in my original layout, I wanted my layout title to say Toddler Toy Tornado. So what I simply did was I cut the Y and the S apart. I just cut straight down on this part of the Y and over. So it looked like the Y, it looked like the S was never here. I just cut over and over just like that. But for this video, I'm gonna keep the entire word toys. And the first thing that we're gonna do is ink this, if you would like, to be a different color other than white. So I'm going to use the dried Marigold Distress Oxide ink to ink mine. And it's pretty simple. I'm just gonna use the gray carrier paper that came with the die cut, but you could use other scrap paper. So you could use this carrier paper as a layer or something on a layout, or to map pictures, or, you know, anything like that. But I'm just gonna use it as this, and I'm just inking up all the letters, and I'm gonna fast forward this so you don't have to watch. So I'll be right back, and you'll see that my whole title is colored just like that. As you can see, I am almost done inking here, and I forgot to add, this title is somewhat fragile, so you are going to want to hold it carefully in place with your other hand while you're inking it up. Otherwise, you might tear it because it's pretty fragile. So I've got that part, and I'm just going to do the circle for the inside of the O, and then we can move on to the next step of this layout, which is going to be backing these letters. So I'm going to back the letters using these 3 pieces that we cut from the pattern papers. They were the smaller pieces on there. And I want to do my T in this plaid, and my O in wood, and my Y in the stars. And then I've still got an S left because I've got 4 letters on here. So we can use the back of any of these to back the S. I think I want to use this one to back the S. Actually, I might do the Y in the feathers and then the S in the stars. And you have plenty more of all of these papers left over. So you can use, if you want to make them all for the same pattern of paper, there's plenty of paper left over to do that. So the easy way to back these letters and get them cut right and not see a bunch of lines is flip everything over, your title and your paper. So it's the back side of your paper. And you can either trace just inside of the letter or the outside of the letter. It's up to you. I'm gonna trace the inside of the letter. And again, the letter is upside down and you're working on the back of your paper. So that way when you cut this out, no pencil marks will show because it's all on the back, and it will show the right side of the paper. So when you trace on the inside of the letter, you just need to cut, I'm using these scissors, a little bit bigger than what you traced. So, because that has to be what glues down on this. And then, and you don't have to be super, super particular with this, but kind of keep a even sized, you know, space between your line and where you're cutting, the line you drew and where you're cutting. Because you can always get it on here and glue it down, and use scissors to trim anything that might be sticking over. So I'm going to use this Zig two-way glue, but you can also use Nuvo Smooth Precision Glue. That's another good one. And I just put a few dots all the way around the letter. And since none of these letters overlap one another, it doesn't matter what one you do first. Each letter is its own shape. So you could do any letter first. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be the T. And then when you flip this over, it's like this. So I'm gonna do the rest of these off camera, and then I will come back and show you how to do the inside of the Y easily. Okay guys, I do know my alphabet, and I meant the inside of the O, not the inside of the Y. So in order to do that, I've got all the letters here, and I'm gonna trace the inside. And then I'm gonna cut with an X-Acto knife a little bigger than what I just traced. Just a little bit bigger. I have a self-healing mat under this because you don't wanna use an X-Acto knife to cut on your table. Alrighty. And then you can just simply glue that down. It should fit right over the circle you just, or the oval you just cut out to make the inside of the O. All right, so that is how we get our title ready. And in hindsight, I think this Y, I think I would put some teal ink on the white paper just to make this have a little more color. So it's really hard for me to do that once it's already glued down here, but I'm gonna try doing it using this speckled egg distress oxide. I'm gonna try to color this Y just a little bit, because it kind of blends too much with the S, with that pattern of paper. So that's what I'm doing this step here. Or you might want to just use the plaid again for the Y. That would still look nice. But you want the letters to kind of be, what's the word I'm thinking of? Just like stand out from one another, not blend. The colors should complement each other, not match each other. And like I said, I would do this before adhering this, because this is real hard to not get this ink on the outside. But I just wanted to show you in case you wanted to add a little more color to this letter. And of course you could leave it white too, but I just think it blended in with the S so much. So do as I say, not as I do, with trying to color this and add a little color to it before you glue it in there. But I think this will work. There, it just adds a little color, so now it's not so similar to the S. Okie doke. And now we will start laying out this left-hand side of the layout. So I'll get all the supplies that we need here. And first you're gonna wanna just place everything in approximately the right places that you want everything. So you should straighten this up a little. And I probably will put this title right about there. Depending on what's in your picture, you might need to move pictures down so you don't cover up an important part of your picture with your title. but I like when my titles overlap my photos. So I'm going to leave it like this. So once you get this set up, it's you're gonna adhere everything down. And I put my title on with dimensional adhesive. You don't have to, but if you want to make it pop up a little, you can do that. In real life, I put way more dimension on the back of these letters, but for the sake of this video, I don't want you to have to watch me sit here playing with tape for 4 or 5 minutes. So I'm just putting a little bit. I do need a few more little pieces here. Okay, there is a lot of different ways that you could use the word toys in your title. Like I said, on my original layout, I used the word toy, and it was called Toddler Toy Tornado, because that's what my pictures were, just toys everywhere. This one, you can call it I Love My Toys, A Boy and His Toy, Toys, Toys and More Toys, Toys Galore, My Favorite Toy. You would cut the S and do My Favorite Toy. There's all kinds of different titles that you could do. I'm going to do Toys Galore. On this layout, because I wanted to do one example with the word toy and one with the word toys. So, and aren't you glad I didn't put a lot of adhesive on here? Otherwise we'd be sitting here watching me peel it forever. Okay, so this one's gonna be called Toys Galore. Now, the subtitle of Galore we are gonna do in these Max stickers, and I don't know how to spell galore, so I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm the world's worst speller because I wanna make sure that I spell it right. I think it's G-A-L-O-R-E, yep. So you could put it galore or galore, but I am gonna try to make it go around the Y if it's not too long. I don't know because I haven't tried this. I think it will fit though. The good thing about, there's a bad and a good thing about these stickers. The bad thing is they don't stick very well without additional adhesive. That's just the nature of stickers. It kind of makes me crazy. But G-A-L-O-R-E. But the good part about that is we can lay out our title and adjust it as need be. So I'm gonna kind of scooch the letters around. Since they don't stick, they're very easy to move until you get them into the place that you want them. If I could find my tweezers. Here they are. My nails make it a little difficult to pick up these stickers. So these inverted tweezers are like my best friend when I'm scrapbooking. Oh, that looks good. So I am going to then, I would put adhesive on the back of these letters to make them stick good. I'm not gonna do that for the video because you don't need to just watch me glue things down, but I would put extra adhesive on the back before being done with that because I would not want them popping off later of my layout, later. Okay, then we are ready for embellishment. And the first part of this is going to be to get out an ink if you would like. And again, I'm going to use this Distress Oxide Speckled Egg. So get out the ink of your choice. Maybe like a teal color would be good. You could also use red, yellow, you know, lots of colors. And I am just going to ink in here. because I'm gonna put embellishments going all the way here, and I want the ink to stick out from behind them, the color. So just ink all through there, and I'll speed this up so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so we've got a little bit of color in this background, just to add a little dimension to our layout. And we'll put this ink off to the side because we're gonna use it again on the next side of this page. And the next thing that we're going to do is a lot of fussy cutting from this sheet, as well as these two Uniquely Creative sheets. So let me tell you what I'm gonna cut. I'm gonna cut this word documented. I'm gonna cut this word awesome. I'm going to cut this star and this star. So those 4 things from this page. I'm going to cut the words, oh, how cute, total boy. I don't know how I missed that when I was making the page layout, and dude, how cute. Okay, I'm gonna cut today's story. There's all kinds of good words in here. Today's story, and remember this. Remember this, it's right on the top. I'm gonna cut those 2 words out. And then out of this page, I'm going to cut the rocket ship and this little teddy bear type, I don't know, I guess it's not a teddy bear. It's an animal, stuffed animal. The ABC block, this, this bigger ball, the wagon, and the slinky. And I'm gonna cut all those things out and I'll be right back. So I forgot to add, you do not have to cut out the same embellishments and cuts that I did and the words. You can cut out whatever ones you would like that match your pictures. So don't feel like you need to cut out these exact same pieces. I just wanted to say that. And then when I'm cutting them, I am leaving like a tiny white border around them, but you don't have to do that. You could cut all the way up to the edge if you wanted. It's however you would like, whatever you like doing the best. And as you can see, I move the paper when I'm cutting more than turning my scissors. I'm turning the paper. And I like these little cutter bee scissors for fussy cutting because they're a little smoother than my Fiskars scissors. These cutter bee ones are just really sharp and pretty smooth, so I like using these kind for my fussy cutting. So you'll see that I'm almost done here, and what you're gonna do when you're done fussy cutting your images is you're gonna start laying them out on your layout where they belong. And I popped a few things up on dimensional adhesive, of course, because I like doing that, but you do not have to. You can adhere them straight flat to the page if you don't like a bunch of bulk in your layouts and your album. So that's totally up to you how you want to do that. But you just kind of lay everything out here just like this. Oops. And I popped up, let's see, what exactly did I pop up here? I popped up this little stuffed animal figure that I don't know what animal it's technically supposed to be. I popped him up though, and I popped up the wagon, as well as the slinky. I popped that up too. The wagon, the slinky, and this little guy. Oh, and this star right over here. So I popped those up, and everything else I just left flat on the page. Okay, so I'm gonna adhere everything down, and I will be right back to put on the last little finishing touch on this page. now that we've got all of this down, we can go in and add the enamel dots. So I've got a nice variety of colors of enamel dots here. And honestly, guys, with my nails, it's so much easier for me to add enamel dots with the tweezers, as I can't. Serious. Okay. So we got that one. Yeah, it's just easier for me to pick them up off the page, set them down with tweezers. So I just put a couple up by the title. And a couple over here. A few down here. I used all the colors because all of these colors on this enamel dot pack, they all match the colors really well of this layout. Oh my word. There we go. These like to fight with me. Holy moly. Giving me such problems today. Well, now I lost it. Thankfully, I'm almost done with the enamel dots on this page. They're giving me fits right now. It's just because my nails are long. And they don't want to pick them up very easily. So that is the end of this left-hand side of the layout, and now we can start on the right-hand side of the layout. And I'm gonna leave this here because we're gonna need it for some paper placement on the right-hand side of the layout right now. So I'm just gonna leave it there for just a minute. So the right-hand side, let me move some of these things that I've got over here. The right-hand side, first we're gonna lay out the papers how we would like them. And the reason why I'm keeping this side here for just a minute is because this paper continues and the picture continues right down there. So I think this is pretty good, what I've got going on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and adhere these things down so we can move this page out of the way and have a little more workspace here. So once you get the basic layout, you can just adhere it down. And this side of the layout will come together very quickly because there's no more paper piece titles to back, although there is a little bit more fussy cutting. So as you can tell, I made this paper continue onto this side, and then this 3x4 photo is going to continue right in line with those two photos. So I'm going to adhere this down. And then I'll adhere the last two photos just about like that. And then we can get to work on fussy cutting the embellishments for this side, and I'll show you on the paper which ones I added here. we're using the exact same 3 pieces we used last time. Let's see. On this one, I'm going to cut this little raccoon, the xylophone, this shoe, this open book. Okay, so those 5 pieces. And then from this page, I'm going to cut this star and the Enjoy Life, the word details. And then from this last page, I'm going to cut Do Your Thing. But like I said, you can cut any words and any images that fit with your pictures. You don't have to do the exact same ones that I do. But I will speed this up and be back when everything is cut. Alrighty, all these goodies are fussy cut. And from here, we're going to do a little more of this inking with the Speckled Egg Distress Oxide ink on this area. Maybe I should have done this before adhering the pictures, but I'm just gonna lift up the pictures and the paper to get this ink where I want it to go. I'm gonna move this side off so we have a little more room and I'm not going off camera there. And then I'm gonna put a little bit more down here because put a little embellishment down there too. This ink, inking this just kind of popped since I cut the white borders out around these images. The white was kind of blending into the white of the stars. So when I ink in the back, it allows them to pop off a little, to see them a little bit better. That's why I inked that, but you don't have to do that. And then we'll just lay these out approximately how we need them. And we can start adhering them down after we get them all laid out pretty good. Do your thing. Details. Oh, we gotta push these up a little. Enjoy Life. Okay, and then I did pop a few things up on Dimension. I popped up the word or the tag that says Enjoy Life. As well as this, the top shoe, the shoe that's overlapping, so the one that's on top, which is the front one. I popped that shoe and I also popped the little raccoon guy up on adhesive. So I will get these all adhered down and I will be right back to show you where to add the enamel dots. Okay, all these goodies are down. I'm gonna kind of twist this shoe. All those goodies are down and now it's time to add enamel dots, and I'm sure they will give me a fit again. I'm going to use the handy dandy tweezers. Somehow this one got on there crooked. There we go. And again, I'm going to use all of the colors just randomly. There's no pattern or rhyme or reason to the way I'm putting these out. I try to get a variety of sizes in each little area though. So like this little area has this 1 large and 2 small. And then up here, where I'm about to put this one, is a large, medium, and small. And that's all I used. You're welcome to put more enamel dots to your liking or save these for another page because you have plenty of supplies left to make another layout, which I'm going to try to do with my leftovers. And you have plenty of alphabets stickers left to make another title. And yeah, and plenty of cut aparts to embellish lots of pages. So I will put stills of these at the end of the video. You can also refer to your instruction sheet to see a picture of the finished layout, and you can refer to our website under the listing where you bought this. There's pictures of the finished layout and close-ups. So thank you guys again, and I hope you enjoyed this layout. I can't just wait to see what you made with this and what pictures you chose to put on this layout and what embellishments you chose to cut out if they're different than mine. I will see you later. Bye.